Okay, back to Inane Blather. Another episode. We're here. We're here for you. Inane Blather, where our motto is, we're here for you. HEAR. And no, that isn't. I came up with that on my own. It was not stolen from Succession Season 2. Or no, I think that was We Hear You. Yeah, We Hear You. Oh. And they're like, but that kind of brings up the whole fact that our smart speakers were listening in on people. I love that show.
That's like Arrested Development, where it's like, solid as Iraq. He's like, I don't know how solid as Iraq. It helps people forget that we built houses in Iraq.
Yeah.
And Job is like, ooh, I like that. I love that. You know,
it's like poetry. Back to Inane Blather, where obviously two basic white bitches talk about stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you know what's a good show? Succession.
Have you ever seen The Wire?
It taught me a lot about black people, but
I had to put subtitles on.
Yeah, but it's anything if not boring, and it is hosted by
headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
And, of course, it is the #1 podcast for
head bonk to individuals.
And that is a fact. You know what else is a fact? Thanks. Did you know that male snakes have 2 penises?
All snakes?
The males. Yeah, I'm kind of a gender-critical snake guy.
I meant all...
I don't know.
Species.
It's on Google. I don't know.
Was that a Snapple cap? Yeah,
yeah, Snapple cap.
It was?
Male snakes have 2 penises.
They're really reaching.
I think, I read a little bit about it. I forget why I was looking this up. Oh, because pornography. No,
right? Yeah,
I think it was. Was I watching? I was watching The Sopranos. It's a really good show.
Oh, God.
No, I forget which show I was watching, but someone made a dumb comment about like snakes reproduce like asexually, like, and I was like, that's not right. And I know it's not supposed to be right, but I was like, wait. How do they do that? They lay eggs, right? But how does that work? And I just looked up, how do snakes reproduce? And it's like, I'm an interesting person. I'm sitting here.
You know, you could have listened to...
I'm a 35-year-old divorcee sitting here on his phone Googling how snakes fuck. Yeah.
And scene.
So, going back to the old soundboard for today's podcast...
Nice.
Brought to you by
what's on there.
Diet Dr. Thunder. Get it from your local Walmart today. Just as far as I know, it's free. You just put it on the bottom of your of your shopping cart and forget about it. So, worth every penny. If
you get what you pay for, I guess.
If you like aspartame, this soda's for you.
This is lit.
It's the first ingredient.
Yeah, most people think that though it is
not good,
but I like it. So I drink a lot of diet soda. So how are you doing today? Anyway.
I just got back from a work trip on Monday night. We were gone 5 days working in a different city, and so had a day off. I was back to work today. Just feeling kind of like,
Yeah, we both kind of had trips over that time. Yeah.
Yeah, just took a bunch of acid. We were like,
yeah.
Drugs are fun.
Yeah. It's the only way that people are ever like...
Doug he's the real deal.
I took a long fucking journey with that guy, bro.
Yeah.
He's the real deal. Yeah.
You don't know anyone named Doug.
Don't quote me on that, though.
Don't tell anyone. Okay, so I can delete this off my list. Male snakes have 2 penises.
I was going to say about the male snakes, you know, Jordan Peterson, he's always talking about snake sex.
Stupid moron.
About that people like intuited DNA because of snakes have sex like that. You know, like that they wrap around each other a little bit.
Well, he was saying
that it's in like different cultures across different areas in the United States, in the world. Well, same difference, right? But
that twisted pattern though. There was something that he originally had it from, though, where he was like, well, actually, and it's quite interesting, I'd talk about it, we could get into that, but I really think it represents DNA. And it's like, what? No, it's snakes curling up. But
why do you think that?
But he didn't think that snakes represented it. It was something else, I forget. And it's like, and that's not a double helix, you fucking moron. Like,
and
seventh graders know this.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I hope you get ass cancer and die, you son of a bitch.
All I have to say about Jordan Peterson. But
yeah.
Oh, geez. Oh, I went back to the old soundboard, and it's just a lot of stuff. Oh, there we go.
LOL.
There we go.
There he is.
Yeah, he's like, he was on a journey. He was having meat sweats and a benzo withdrawal, and he's like,
bruh,
I really think that, like, actually that symbol, it appears everywhere for like 2,000 years, and
bruh,
it's actually like the symbol for DNA. Oh, I'm missing a soundboard clip.
I was gonna say, I was watching you. Yeah. Is it like LOL?
No, it's gonna be the last bruh that I have that's all reverb. It's like bruh, bruh. It's been really nice. Of course, we don't always talk about the weather, but it's been beautiful.
Day today.
It cooled off a little bit, so it's like 80 and sunny in the afternoon, slight breeze. Fired up the grill, and we had today for dinner, we had grilled sesame ginger tofu and
yum.
Chicken fried rice and some real simple like iceberg salad with a yum yum sauce, because I happen to have it in there. I was like, that's kind of, I mean, it's practically like Asian fry sauce. I swear, but it's so good, that stuff.
It is
good. It's like it got that little tangy. Yeah, it's tasty. But it turned out okay. It was my first time ever making tofu for myself in any way whatsoever. But I'd been looking into it, and it's like
easy.
I've liked it when it's fried. Yeah, and of course it's easy generally, but it's like I don't know if it's easy to make it good. Where I'd want to have it. I got such a
good, easy recipe. Ooh, man, it's so easy.
I'd never pressed the water out, never done any of this stuff at home. Mm-hmm. But what's funny is that, really, it was on my mind because there was a back and forth. Vegan Twitter is crazy. Like, any of my vegan friends, I love you to death and stuff, but veganism online is
toxic.
The Holocaust. And it's like,
it is, and I don't say this lightly.
Worse than 100 September 11th. Yeah, exactly. But and it's like, oh, talk about condescending. Like, God, are you trying to convert people or not? I'm sorry. I know that you're right. But it doesn't matter at this point. And it's like, but anyway, but kind of the back and forth. And he was like, yeah, but I've liked fried tofu. And that's healthier than, in terms of like the fat that you still get protein with tofu, you get carbs in it, but it'd just be interesting. I was like, that'd be cool to throw on the grill. I bet people do that. So I looked it up real quick and I was like, okay, that's easy. But it didn't turn out quite as good as I wanted it to. And I made my own little kind of marinade sauce.
Did you get the right kind of tofu? Like if you get, like I always get extra firm. If you're
I got firm.
Like some of this,
I should get extra firm. I should have also just sliced it in half lengthwise. It's really thick, the one that I got.
Yeah, definitely slice it in half, like through the like.
And I was like, whatever it is. I just ended up having a dipping sauce on the side.
Yeah.
And Sophia liked it with the sauce, but I was like, oh, I loved the outside. Get a little char on it from the grill and stuff. It was pretty good, but it'll be better next time. Oh, but anyway, going and getting a pound of it, though, it's like, oh, this is cheaper than buying chicken per pound.
It is.
I know that a lot of it is water, but even after getting the water out, a good half hour sitting on the counter, and pressing the water out. It was still, I don't know how much water weight that could have been. It's still a lot, and it was kind of filling. It was way more filling than I thought it would be. I feel like anytime I make chicken thighs and stuff, and not to toot my own horn, but just because it's so goddamn good.
So good.
when you throw those on the grill when they've been marinating for 2.5 days, and you throw some barbecue sauce on them, you do it just right, and it's like, I don't know if this isn't filling or if I'm just a fucking pig and I cannot stop eating this. I'm at home by myself. It's like, I'll have some leftovers. You're not going to have leftovers, asshole.
You're
like,
eat
no
all the
way.
chicken.
You're going to sit here and eat it all watching The Sopranos.
The pig you are.
Yeah, like the fucking hog.
Like chicken eating pig you are.
Yeah. I'm a chicken pig. But it was, just having, I feel like I had less than I usually would if I had an entree of meat, and it was definitely filling. I was like, that's kind of nice.
Fan. I'm a tofu fan for sure. The
You're
way
a
I
tofu
do
fan?
it, it's it's
fetish?
so incredibly easy. Yeah,
A tofu
fan.
fetish?
It's like olive oil, a little bit of soy sauce, cornstarch. You do it around. Put it in the oven. You just mix it up. You like
yeah, I know.
Well, you dice it. You mix it in that. You put it in the
nice.
oven. Oh my God, it's so easy to clean up, so easy. It's on parchment paper. You just flip it one time, and then you have all these perfect little, like, crispy on the outside, like soft on the inside, but not, like mushy. And then with some balsamic vinegar on that, throw those on your salad. They're really nice to have in the fridge. So easy. And the thing about tofu is you're not going to get food poisoning from it. It's so, like, the cleanup and stuff, staying clean it's really easy.
You're not going to get food poisoning when I make chicken either.
Well, I mean, like,
what are you saying?
Like,
did you get food poisoning?
No, I'm saying cutting boards and knives and your hands,
all
like
the
when
cleaning,
you're doing stuff with
the
chicken.
constant sanitation. It's annoying.
I mean, it's just really nice to be lazy. So that's why I like tofu.
Yeah, it's like even if I do a bad job, it's not going to make me sick.
Yeah, I just won't like it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just have to put it in the microwave, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's food. What is it? Yeah. Instead, I don't know. But
yeah, tune in next week for more recipe tips.
Yeah. No, I did a little. It's soy sauce, and I mean, super cheap. Like, I don't have nice stuff at home, so it's like cheap soy sauce, ground ginger, and some brown sugar. And some corn starch, thicken it up a little bit and stuff. Just this thing that I'm shaking in a mason jar.
Pretty much corn
is
starch
like all I
for
do.
tofu.
And
just
just throw it on there. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. It's a great way to stay in shape. So
creativity to me.
It's just like a tofu bird, a tofurkey.
It's like referencing Family Guy.
Yeah.
Let's go to Doug. Doug is the guy you go to around here.
I'm just going to do these over and over again. So there are a few things that I thought we could go over, but I don't know where to start.
At the beginning,
I could save this for next week because Pride Month is coming up. Whatever the fuck that means.
It is. No, it's not. It's May still.
Okay. Which one do we want to go with? Transphobic weirdos or rap artists' racism?
Let's go rap.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I just written down the other day, said outside of racism. So maybe some of the hatred of the rap artist style of opulence and money loving comes from the fact that they're often the only honest rich people. Other wealthy people have to act like they're, quote, doing good for the world. They're doing good for other people, or they're using this money for something with their money, et cetera, et cetera. And someone like A$AP Rocky, for example, can just say in his songs, fuck you, I'm rich as fuck, look at my expensive cars and clothes, LOL. But it's just like, it's just honest. It's like, yeah, like that's why I have all this shit, because I'm rich and because I can. Look at it. This is what I do with it.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thing how people talk about old money and new money and how it shows with new money and stuff.
Yeah.
And how why that's a bad thing. Because then
because
old
you're a
money,
target for the guillotines.
You don't want to exactly. Old money, you're like, you don't want to, rile up the peasants. You got to be careful here. You don't want to make them feel. Actually, Tucker Carlson said that. You don't want to incur their wrath, pretty much. So you gotta, be on their side or whatever. You can't be shoving it in their faces and whatever. So then, new money would be a threat to.
It's like how
that kind of
It's like how Rockefeller
attitude.
and Vanderbilt and stuff, but especially Rockefeller, of course, goes down in conservative written history books as being like a great philanthropist, as well as being the richest man who ever lived. And it's like, but he did that because of growing inequality and rising leftist sentiments, where if nothing had been done, I mean, who knows what path the U.S. could have gone down. I don't know if some revolution is going to have these rich people's wealth expropriated, but yeah, burp. So that was his foundation.
Yeah. Debate
the
that,
Benevolent
bro. Yeah.
United Repatriation Society. Burp. But yeah, they say it was a really. I mean, people could just say that that's cynical leftist stuff, but I think there's something to it. I mean, that's like actual historical fact, right? Like a lot of it was kind of seeing the writing on the wall and being like, well, you can't really turn on me too much when I build a bunch of libraries or something like that. And it's like, I guess it could be
yeah, we could, because you already built them.
altruistic or whatever.
Cares?
It's like,
Yeah.
but you only did it so that we won't
wouldn't
metaphorically
turn on you.
cut off your head, so but yeah, it's just kind of funny
Rockefeller,
how
I'm not a fan, gotta say.
yeah, like that style of opulence though is like, well, that's honesty. Rap artists, they're the honest rich guys. So
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
don't be
I'm trying to
showing everyone-
change the
yeah.
world. I'm trying to get us to Mars. No, you're a rich smug fuck. Who cares?
Trying to repopulate the world with your
or
1,000
you have,
children? Disgusting.
Yeah, even all
God.
your science stuff. It's like, no, you're a capitalist, dude. Like you're a billionaire.
Yeah, that's funny. Like Warren Buffett and all these guys being like, oh, they eat the same meal every day. Like they're so stingy and stuff. Like billionaires need to be
Yeah.
stingy. That's how they got
They're
billions by
just
eating.
like us. No, they're not.
the same at all.
They're not. And it's way better if they're actually honest about it and not like
because-
the Bill Gates going on Ellen and trying to guess how much a gallon of milk costs, where it's like self-deprecating. It's like, no, like that's still not it. That still is not it, chief, as the youth say or used to say. But it's giving
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
This is the Gen Z outreach podcast.
Yeah. Maybe we should find some Gen Zers.
It's very cringe when you do that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Agreed. Thank you, Hassan. I agree.
Well, that's one thing. And
yeah,
that was
that's
definitely from someone else who wrote into the show. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah,
person.
that is an interesting thing about. So why do you have wealth? If it's like, what is so like, if what's so wrong with being extravagant? Oh,
Well,
is it because you know that so many people have so much less than you
Yes.
do, like so much less?
you're
And is it,
ashamed.
so you feel guilty? Okay, so do something different.
Yeah, and
Instead of just hate rappers for being like, oh, they're so classless and like, you know, showing off their wealth and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Or
but just
just
because you don't
new
have a bunch
money
of
in
diamonds
general.
on a chain or whatever doesn't mean that you don't live in a $50 million house and have another one in Italy and have a yacht over here and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, and all this kind of stuff. And you have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank or whatever, you know,
and you're just
in stock
exploiting a
investments
bunch
and
of wage
all of the clothes
workers.
you wear are so incredibly expensive. You don't go to Goodwill
For
or
no
anything. You're not
reason.
shopping at Target. Yeah, you're like you wear expensive stuff too, but you just are
I do?
evidently ashamed.
You see what I'm wearing right now?
Not you. Yeah, I was like, wait,
this
what?
literally
What did I say?
is from Goodwill, and I cut the
Yeah,
sleeves
this
off.
Someone gave me this shirt, so yeah.
I got these shoes from a homeless person. No,
I stole them from him.
yeah,
You don't
I
need
beat the
these.
shit out of that woman. No,
It was easy because they were in a
LOL.
wheelchair. Yeah.
yeah, it was I was like, you don't need these. These are shoes. Where are you? I was like, man, there isn't a single scuff on these things.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's definitely why the sentiment comes around.
That Doug guy, wow, what a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
But
He is hollow, cold, and violent.
yeah, you don't want to see me in an alley. Yeah, why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know.
Because
For
he
the
was,
1000th time, Doug, how many times are you going to ask me this question?
because he was a racist asshole, and there was a black chicken walking towards him.
Oh, my God. Did Sophia make that up?
Yeah, her teacher told her that. It's critical race theory in the classroom.
That's critical race theory.
So
Did you see the ACLU made Florida, or like put out,
yes,
not the ACLU, the NAACP put out that warning, sort of a travel advisory to Florida for LGBTQ and Black
Yes.
Americans. Not Black LGBTQ Americans, though they do obviously fall into both of those categories.
did you see
LGBTQ and Black Americans, because it's hostile to them. Isn't that so gross? That doesn't give anybody any pause. All that they do in the reaction to that is like, wow, these leftists, they just are so blah, 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 blah. The NAACP, this organization that has been around a long time, doing a lot of good work for the advancement of people of color in the United States, and now we're at the point where they're like giving out this kind of dire warning, like, you guys, like, this is really bad.
Yeah.
And the reaction
It's
is just
scary.
like, shut up, bitches. You guys are so sensitive, as they're the ones banning books and stuff, but it's really pretty fucking scary and like really weird when it's like surreal when I think about that's where we're at. And that the guy who is in charge of all that is running for fucking president.
Yeah, to
Even
date
with that
our
picture of him in those white
podcast
boots.
as
Like, what a dumb dork. He's never going to win. What is he doing?
those boots. Rhonda Santis. Rick Scott. Okay, so I was thinking it was DeSantis, but because of this,
Yeah, he was mocking.
Yes. Did you read that?
I did not read it because I just saw it when I was at work, and I was like, this penis-looking motherfucker here. He looks like
Guy's
a penis snake.
fucking
He looks
alien.
like like a snake with two penises, but the one of the penises is his head.
Let me
So,
look up.
that's Rick Scott.
Travel.
Was that?
Advisory? Let's
Can't
see
remember if
here.
that was this episode.
Okay. Oh, today the DSA is issuing a freedom advisory for the people of Florida in opposition to the fascist actions of its politicians. We recognize the travel advisory issued by Florida Senator Rick Scott as part of a continued pattern of red baiting. So what a piece of shit. Like, mocking this ACLU thing for immediately
NAACP?
release. Or the NAACP thing. Today, Senator Rick Scott issued a formal travel advisory for all socialists visiting the state of Florida. The travel advisory, and this is from his desk. This isn't an article about it. Travel advisory comes in direct response to the Biden administration attempts to erase capitalism and the system that has brought prosperity to
What
Florida
the
and the
fuck?
entire United States. The formal travel notice states, Florida
If
is
only.
openly hostile towards socialists, communists, and those that enable them. Like, even if you're like a joke,
What?
it's like, this is straight up Nazi shit, dude. It is. It just is. Before traveling to Florida, please understand that the state of Florida devalues and marginalizes the contributions of and the challenges faced by socialists and others who work in the
What
Biden
the
administration.
fuck?
Once again, Show me a socialist in the Biden administration.
I was going to say, if you think that he's a socialist,
Mike Buttigieg.
yeah, like Kamala
He must have
Harris.
learned all that socialism at the McKinsey group, and Kamala learned it in police school. Yeah, but let me be clear: any attempts to spread the oppression and poverty that socialism always brings will be rebuffed by the people of Florida. Travelers should be aware that attempts to spread socialism in North Florida will fail and be met with laughter and mockery, said former Governor and now Senator Scott. However, in much of Central and South Florida, the situation is far more dangerous for socialists, as they may encounter people from Cuba, Venezuela, and other parts of Central and South America and the Caribbean who have direct knowledge of and experience with the horrors of socialism. Hey, show us one of those people that has direct knowledge of the horrors of socialism from Cuba. What was the horror? Did they have their slaves taken away?
Vaccine?
They had their land expropriated and given into the common good because it's a so-called communist state. That's like, the capitalists lost, and that's why they don't like it there. They lost what they had. No fucking duh.
Yeah.
Like, that really goes over people's heads when it comes to Cuba and, expats that are in the United States and stuff. It's like, of course they think the Castro regime was terrible. Of course. It's like, because they were, like we talked about in the last episode, they were one of those fucking landowning capitalist freaks, and they had their stuff taken away from them so that they were on the same level as the rest of the people, so that they were all part of the same working class.
And they were like, ew!
What a horror. But
horrible. Yeah, I think that it's really, the Red Scare, like communism back in whatever, the 50s, it always struck me as like, why would anyone, like, legit, isn't this America? Like, can't you have whatever belief system you want in any sort of way? Like, aren't you free to kind of like think about your own ways and say like, I think that socialism is the way, or I think capitalism is the way, or whatever.
Yeah.
It always just really seems really in direct contradiction with a fundamental thing about freedom of speech, and just like saying that you want to do those kinds of things like socialism or capitalism. Even like, definitely like in the 50s, the Red Scare, people are like, like,
McCarthy type
about
stuff.
Communism.
It's like, and the blacklisting and all that. It's like, it's crazy how that kind of gets glossed over. It's gigantic. It should be a big deal.
Really anti-American. If you're going to say freedom of speech or whatever, freedom of thought, like those are thoughts that are not hurting anyone. They're a different way of like thinking about a society. Like freedom of thought, which I'm always like, Nazis and stuff. I don't want to get into,
that's the thing.
Freedom of expression and all that kind of stuff. But that's not the same thing. This is not in direct opposition to like a certain group of people, socialism or communism.
It's in direct opposition to the system itself. Like, and even,
which is not a person.
Right, yeah.
Or a group of people.
It's, it's kind of understandable. Like, I can understand it if it explains it, but it's little, when you go over the real reasons of why it could be quote unquote bad, it's more esoteric than what would actually, stick with people. So it has to be scare tactics and propaganda, right? It's like, I think it's bad for people to even like be supporting this because it's in direct opposition to our system of governance, really, and our economic system. And that's okay. So that's what you think. But when it's like, well, people can talk about that, support it all they want, implementing it, as has been seen so many times, can often take a violent revolution, a toppling of the state capitalist apparatus, all that stuff. But like, it's like, so participating, maybe we can have a discussion about that. But if you're just talking about communism and how you support it, without participating in a revolution to implement communism, then that's, then it's like, well, it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, someone can be a racist. Like we've talked about before, you can just sit in a room and be racist all you want, but you're not doing anything about it. So what's the purpose of having that freedom of thought and freedom of speech? It's like once you start interacting with people and forming groups about how we're all racist together, then you understandably think, well, this isn't good. This isn't really leading anywhere good. Maybe I don't want to censor these people because we have rights, but it's not good. So if you're someone who truly believes that, capitalism and generally the status quo is how America should be, like as a country, like foundationally, then people talking about something that's totally at odds with it, like communism, would be like, I don't like where this is going to go. But that's not good enough to... So you have to...
Because they're wrong about where it's going to go, too.
Right,
so,
yeah, but it's like, but that's
definitely.
that on its own, it's like, okay, well, I get it. I get where you're coming from because you're a capitalist, whatever. But, and you're on the side of, like, the entire, the system, man, but
yeah, it's like monarchists before the revolution.
Right, yeah, and the revolution was bloody. So it's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and I can disagree or not, but that's not enough. They have to do a complete and total campaign of fear, lies, and propaganda
from a government
because
official.
You're not going to
That's
have
not just some random person.
Oh yeah, because you're not going to have
senator.
people sitting there and talking this out as to why you may be against communism because of what it would take to implement it, or why you may be for it because it's for the common good. People aren't going to be doing that. They're too busy slaving away under capitalism. So if you want to get that point across, you'd be like, yeah, because they're going to murder your family because communists will murder you. It's like, well, of course that's bad. It's like, so anyone who supports that, why would someone support that? They're a bunch of murderers. I don't want someone supporting that.
I just think it's really, really gross. Government officials and stuff saying things like what Rick Scott is saying about, like...
It's like, we can all...
Yeah, like
we can all look up this stuff and talk about it. Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we can definitely talk about it. And the way that normalizing that kind of... rhetoric surrounding people with these beliefs, it's like, that's not good. Talking about communists being laughed at, being whatever. Talk about slippery slope leading to communists being arrested, communists being, killed, being brutalized and assaulted, and all this kind of stuff.
Fallacies because there's historical precedent for it.
That's what happens with hate crimes. Yeah.
It's like first they came for the trade unionists. The shit has happened before. A lot of socialists were murdered for being socialists.
An American government official should say, like, I understand that people have differences of opinions. These are the reasons why we have capitalists, not going, like, actively targeting members of their own constituents too for their beliefs and saying you should laugh at this person, you should exclude this person. They're not people. Like saying that these are bad for society, and not just saying, hey, everyone is entitled to their beliefs, but they will say that when it comes to these motherfucking right-wing white supremacist murderers. Like I'm sure Rick Scott is all sucking Kyle Rittenhouse's dick or whatever.
I was gonna say, meanwhile, kind of bullshit, you're literally a genocidal freak when it comes to the trans community or just LGBT rights in general. Like, no, you're talking about this. I mean, you're using this tongue-in-cheek Nazism, like somehow, because
hilarious.
People can be on your side because of years of Red Scare propaganda. It's like, but the propaganda is about how socialists burn everything down and genocides and hunger or whatever. It's like, but you're currently... Like the next thing on your meeting list is going and trying to do a genocide. Like that's
trans people.
like that's what you're doing. Florida is bad. It's bad.
Florida.
Like, it is, like, I mean, I only hear about it from the outside and all this and that, and there are reasons that it's in the news more often. It really sucks that we've just, but I mean, anything left of center-right has totally lost Florida, how it used to be a swing state and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's done. Like, the whole state is toast, you know, and it's only going to get worse if we, rightfully so, get people out of there, because this shouldn't be done to them.
No one should be living there.
But, yeah, exactly. It's like, why don't we just speed up climate change for a little bit? Fuck that state. Yeah.
Just in that area.
Yeah,
Get out, you folks. Most
everything
of you anyways,
else along the coast, kind of
leave
move
the rest of
it
the gators.
inland, like the trash of the Titans, the Simpsons. You know, they move the entire city 5 miles down the road. Do that for like Houston, you know, maybe parts of New York City, you know, things like that.
Oh, I don't want. Yeah,
it's like
I don't want New Orleans. being
New
affected by any of
Orleans,
this, so.
any so-called liberal bastions, you know, but.
Generally cool place.
Yeah, but Florida,
Atlanta.
it's like, let's just helicopter out all of the queers and just sink the rest
people
of
of
it.
color. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I just clicked that because it said goblin, and I forgot what that was.
It is seriously like disappointing what direction Florida. As that's what Fred Armisen, he said. You take 2 syllables and make it one. Florida. It's Florida.
Yeah.
In northern
that beautiful
Florida. Yeah.
Spanish word. It's now Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Florda. Florduh. Florida.
Oof, man, white people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
it's like
this really flew by.
What a horrific
I had
place
something else
for.
to say.
Yeah, it's a really heavily populated state too, and
Yeah.
just how many millions of people are affected. Restrictive abortion laws, LGBTQ laws. You know, this is millions and millions of people. It's like what, the 4th most populated state in the United States. It's got a lot of cool stuff too. Miami is in Florida.
Yeah.
It seems like a cool fucking place, but I don't know. It's really, really, really sad.
Well,
honestly, I mean,
at least I was going to say earlier,
hopefully-
it kind of dates the show, you know, I'm trying to put them out earlier, but at least, I mean, today it dates the show. Today was the day that Ron DeSantis announced his presidential campaign, officially announced his presidential run. DeSantis's, there's the New York Times, DeSantis's big moment goes awry with a Twitter meltdown. A live stream conversation with Elon Musk was plagued by glitches.
I wondered
in a
how that
shaky
went.
start. Yeah, let's see. It went haywire at its start on Wednesday during a glitch-filled live stream over Twitter. For one thing, he's already doing it talking with Elon,
The
which
CEO
sucks.
of Twitter can't even get a glitch-free Twitter live stream.
Yes, exactly. This app's such a piece of fucking garbage. I still use it, but
God.
yeah, I just started seeing. I forgot that today was probably the day that he was announcing, and then I just started seeing tweet after tweet after tweet of all these people posting pictures of SpaceX rockets blowing up and be like, "Oh, here it is. Here's what the live look-in at Ron DeSantis's presidential announcement." But yeah, he's only 44. Jeez.
Yikes.
Provides Donald J. Trump the most formidable Republican rival. I don't see any. He's not gonna overtake Trump. Trump's killing it. He's out there defaming people and getting back in court already. He'll run from jail.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta be president, so I stay out of prison.
The Biden campaign sought to capitalize on the glitchy Twitter debut of the DeSantis 2024 run, buying Google ads to display Biden donation links for people who search for terms like DeSantis disaster, DeSantis fail, and DeSantis flop. Oh, liberals.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and what's funny is that anytime you get these man on the street kind of look in things at Republicans, and even in Florida, that we've seen over the past like
Florida.
4 months or something. But DeSantis people will be like, yeah, and if he doesn't do it, I'll vote for Trump, of course. But Trump people are like, fuck Ron DeSantis.
Fuck no.
Trump,
Yeah.
no matter what. Trump, anything. Like, if only Trump would have just have run
Trump's everything.
independent or something, like, he would destroy the
Oh my
GOP
God.
in one election because all those people would still vote for him. They love him. But
It's a cult.
yeah, it's going to be great when he's president again. Love it. Gotta love it.
You're
Then
gonna
we'll
get
have
tired of
the
winning.
NAACP sending out a memo that the United States probably just isn't a safe place to be in anymore.
Like, Canada, get out if you can.
Yeah, and if you are Canada, yeah, try to just stay away. You know, just
yeah,
move
like if you can
north.
take some tectonic plates.
Yeah, there's going to be some plate shifting somehow along this arbitrary line that we drew on this parallel.
Yeah, there is no tectonic plates.
Yeah,
So,
through the
get
Great
on that,
Plains.
Canada. Yeah. The tectonic plates of North Dakota.
It's like it's the opposite of building a wall. Is it's just thousands of miles of jackhammering to like separate the two countries. It's just instead of building a wall, it's like dig that ditch. Dig the ditch. It's just like a moat, you know?
We're like, oh, Americans on the other side. Like, please.
It's like in the worst humanitarian crisis of the 21st century, people are falling in like, oh, take me.
This is better than Idaho.
Yeah, they're up in northern Idaho. Like, fuck this. I'd rather just jump in the ditch than go 20 miles west or east.
It's still in the United States.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm not going to go to Montana because they banned TikTok over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to Washington because it's a bunch of F slurs. No.
Yeah. I'll just lay in this ditch till I'm dead.
Yeah, just pour dirt on me. I'm done. Because I wanted DeSantis. No. But, and it all just stemmed from this deep-seated internal pain come from the fact that
I need to see a dick.
And that's it. And I couldn't deal with it.
That's what most things come from.
Yeah.
Oh!
That's
Oh!
ooh. That's what happens when he sees a dick.
Okay, well, I was going to talk about something else, but it's been enough time. So
it's been
enough time since we started. Come on.
I am not gonna
Farted
continue
is
with
right
that.
there. You could have said something.
Farted.
Okay, yeah, good rhyme. Good job. Great
They call me MFG.
job.
Thank you.
Damn it, some of these are missing. Sit down. That's what I was gonna say. Okay, so for all of our new listeners, thanks for nude listening. I said nude listeners, not new listeners.
Nude
and
listeners
for all of our new
only.
listeners, fuck
Zach.
you. No.
Yeah.
We're the number one,
That's what you
most
can come to expect.
combative podcast out there.
Yeah. Just know that the next time you listen, we won't be addressing that to you. So if you just keep being a listener,
Yeah,
you know,
then I'm gonna
it's
have to
only once,
say
yeah.
something different. Yeah, if you're a new listener,
Fuck you too.
Yeah. Well, fuck you.
Yeah.
Then send us a comment or a message or an email or a
Please.
tweet or a DM or
Instagram.
What's your address? Put
Inane
that on the
Blather
pod.
Pod?
We'll send a letter. No.
It's 11. No.
Yeah. 1157 Rodeo Drive, Los Angeles, California. 90210.
9 something. Yeah.
That's in Beverly
Definitely
Hills.
9
dang it.
something. Yeah.
And I know that from the show. Okay, well, I think next time we'll be talking will be during Pride Month, and so we'll have a bunch of bullshit to say about that.
Oh yeah.
Or as I call it, Bisexual Erasure Month. No. Okay.
As it
Shout
should
out
be.
RM Brown.
Sounds
Our
like
Lord
you're
and Savior.
pretty into this, buddy. It's because you're an honorless,
We are.
lying little turd.
Okay.
We are.
Shout out RM Brown. We love you. I'm going to go back to this
Obsessed with
one.
you.
That was a really
We're coming
nice
to your
one. Thanks,
house.
Inane Blather.
Yeah. Move into my garage. I will feed you.
Please.
And
Sometimes.
edit your show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I love all of our listeners. Zach, Emily,
Shout out
Vanita,
Zach.
Ryan,
Shout out Wendy.
Kelsey, Umberto, yeah. all you guys, thank
Hi,
you
Wendy.
so much.
Love you. Bye.
All. And Doug.
Bye.
Okay, bye.